Hi. Hi. I'm Astrologer Penny Dix, and welcome to February the 1st. Happy Imbolc. And today I'm going to give you the overview for the month of February. I don't think there's much happening this month, to be quite honest, so I don't think it'll take too long. But good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening to those of you in my part of the world. Let's have a look and see who's here. So we've got Andy did a quick fly in and fly out. She's off to hockey. AMAC, hello, Toby G, and I love Canada. Yes, Canada loves Penny, Toby G said. I love Canada. Esterella, hello, and Stormy, thank you. Jim, good morning. Mwah. Warmest greetings from Gozo. Shirley, hello, honey. And Poonam, hello. Happy Imbolc. And Annabelle Sapphire, Imaguari, yes, hello. And you're going to cook dinner perhaps and listen? And Samantha Keats, welcome everyone. Well, this is the month that has been talked about by us astrologers for some time. It is plans to be or promises to be an interesting month, I think is what I would say. There is a lot going on this month, and I think we must be careful not to get caught up in any anxieties around the fact that we've got some significant transits that maybe some are making sound more dramatic than they need to be. Hello, Catherine K. Ulrich. Shirley Mills in Texas. Hello, good morning. Oh, Catherine, how sweet. Penny, she says, I'm a gorgeous soul and I just love you as you're a very special lady. Thank you. That must come from a very special lady and a very special soul fam. Elaine, good morning. And hi from Denmark, MM, Cosmic 3IA. Hello. So the first thing I want to say about February is that the events that may be triggered by this month's energy, really, we've been seeing the triggers happen over the last year. So even though, for example, Saturn and Neptune are conjunct at this exact 0 degree of Aries, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything particular happens on February the 20th. It might, it may. But I think we have to remember with these big outer planets, their influence affects months up to their coming together, and for months beyond they're moving apart. So there is a build-up of the energy, and so that I think that what we're going to experience in February is a sense of things going on and the potential for what is hidden to be revealed. Now, that could be with everything and anything. I know we've had more of the Epstein files released, and they are, well, I've seen little snippets of him, and I find it quite difficult to watch. Hello, Anne from snowy Boston. See me, hi. And everyone's got, Susanna, hi, sweetie. Hi, my love. And so what I'm going to do is just go through what is happening this month and then spend a bit of time on the important energies. And we have to remember that today is the 1st of February. And it is known as the pagan festival of Imbolc. And I have a story all about Imbolc to give to you when we come to the other end of this particular transmission. So let's have a look. Today, it's the full moon. It's the full moon in Leo at 13 degrees and 3 minutes. And I think what's interesting about this full moon is the fact that it is in Leo, which can be about leadership, power, status, and it's in opposition to Aquarius, clearly, because that is where the sun is. And Aquarius represents the collective and the community. And so you have a big divide between the collective and the community looking, shining light on what is hidden that comes out about those in power. So I'll just leave that. Oh, Poonam, you like my stories. That's good. That's good. Well, we're getting another one a little bit later. And hello, Brenda Lee Lynch, Keene, New Hampshire. It's a bit chilly, is it? Oh, dear. Cosmic 3IS, we still have to put in the work. And as Jim would say, we have to go to the chop and carry, chop the wood, carry the water. We have to keep doing that. But this full moon is, it'll be interesting to see what does come out. I think it's interesting that in the news channels, certainly that I've been watching in the UK, I'm not in the UK yet. Ooh, Freudian slip. How funny was that? In Europe, I'm still in Gozo. Where am I? In Gozo, which is Sky News, basically. There was a lot about the Epstein files, and certainly there are lots of fingers pointing at important people. Musk, Branson, Mandelson, Andrew. I mean, it's just pouring out. So anyway, that aside, I just think it is an interesting energy that is coming out around the full moon. And I think it will cause problems for a lot of people. And the next, I don't want to spend too much time on the full moon because I have got my video, full moon video, up on my channel. And in that, I have done all your individual zodiac signs. They are all time-stamped by me. I'm so proud of myself. What's this, see me? The heart wants what it wants. So you're in the UK, I know, isn't that funny? your natal moon is in Leo and the sun in Scorpio. Ooh, right, okay. Passion and fire and yeah, interesting. So yeah. Hey, Diane, Miss Diva Diane. I had lunch with the lovely Miss Diva Diane today. We went to a charity lunch and it was very nice. I came home, had a little lie down, and now here I am, all ready to go. But we did have a lovely time, and thank you for inviting me, Diane. I thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. It was excellent fun. Enlightened Aura, how lovely to see you. And who else have we got here? Blue Fox Blitz. That's quite difficult to say. Blue Fox Blitz, an old sea captain rocking himself on the porch of his cottage. That must be the Sabian symbol. Thank you. 13 degrees Leo. An old sea captain rocking himself on the porch of his cottage. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's think about that. Now, the other thing, or the next thing that we need to just be mindful of is that on Wednesday, the 4th, Uranus, our planet of surprise, the unexpected, freedom of speech, rebellion, stations direct in Taurus. It is now not going to be retrograde in Taurus again for another, what is it, something like 84 years. So really most of us that are alive today will not experience Uranus in Taurus again. It doesn't actually move into Gemini until, I think it's the 26th of April. So it stations direct sort of exact kind of point for quite a few weeks, literally a couple of months. And its energy is almost exacerbated like this because it's just there, sending out its electricity and ability to strike where we don't expect anything to happen. I think the other thing that is important to remind ourselves is that Uranus is conjunct the fixed star Algol. Combine that with today's full moon in Leo. Algol, just to remind some of you that may not know, represents beheading or execution. So if we take a modern version of the metaphor of that, it can be a leader losing his position. Now, we know things are bubbling away in Iran. We know things have been bubbling away all over the world in various places. There are countries in Africa that are going through horrendous civil wars, massacres, and injustices, and it's never reported. And so, we just hear about Iran, we hear about Ukraine, the Middle East, Gaza, and the challenges that the United States is currently experiencing. So I just say that because it is interesting that, I see blue fox blitz. I can't say that. Blue fox blitz. What did you say? Yes, it means the transition to old age. That's interesting. Okay, so there is some transition that is incorporated in this 13-degree point of the Leo full moon. And see me, so when Uranus leaves Taurus, does that mean we can relax a little bit? I think the word relax and 2026 don't really fit in the same sentence. So not about any particular planet. I just feel from the intensity of the astrology this year, which really we had the precursor to this all last year, that this is going to be a year where we are constantly almost in a state of alert. It's not a year to sit back and smell the roses. There will be periods of calm and of calmer waters and peace. But so much is being encouraged by the cosmos to change, with the breaking down of the old ways of doing things to enable and empower a different and more appropriate governmental structure for really every single place on the planet. But that doesn't happen overnight, and it's not going to happen just overnight in 2026. What we're seeing is the cracks and the crumbling. We're seeing the breaking down. And if we're fortunate enough this year, we will start to see, as is represented by the pagan festival of Imbolc, some light coming in, the light at the end of the tunnel, because Imbolc is about that first sense in mid-winter that the light is returning. And it's a time in the Northern Hemisphere when maybe you notice the first snowdrops growing on mossy banks in woodlands. So, see me, a tower moment, breaking down. Yes, but it doesn't have to be. You see, I think it's very easy to get caught up in all the hyped up energy of what the astrology is implying. So I think we have to take deep breaths and take a few steps back and not Yeah, Poonam. I just saw your comment, Jim, about agreeing with Poonam. And Poonam has said this energy feels like the show is barely starting. Exactly. Hi, Laura Speedwell. Welcome. And yeah, Shirley, you've seen some snowdrops. How beautiful. Yeah, they're very hopeful. And yes, Sini, it's the breaking down of the old foundation to start building a new one and being more aware. Brenda Lee Lynch, the planetary alignment numerology of 1 to 26 and Chinese Year of the Fire Horse all indicate global transition starting this month. Fantastic. And so does the astrology. That is so on point. So on point. Thank you, Brenda, for that. Imagari, Rick Levine put it in this way: we are about to find out how Saturn is illusion and Neptune is reality. Yes, that is a wonderful way to put it, because it's the revealing, the revelation that Saturn can bring to Neptune. We've been going around with our, fingers in our ears and going la 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 la, just skipping along through the snowdrops and not seeing the reality. And there is something, I think, profoundly big that is changing in our human consciousness. And I guess what I'm suggesting is, my sense is we are all going to feel this on an inner level in a way that will have us going, wow, oh, wow, I didn't realize that my consciousness could expand to the extent where it is suddenly crystal clear what all of this is all about. That may be my dream, but it may also be the truth. And I think that what Rick Levine was saying is Saturn is going to strip away the illusions. We get to the truth of what Neptune has been hiding. And yes, Jim, I think it's very on point, very on point. And yes, see me, you think that this may happen in our personal lives, not what is just. Oh, absolutely. I always have to use myself because I'm the only yardstick I've got. But I had a moment yesterday where I sat, or no, it might have been Friday actually, but I sat and I just thought, oh my God, oh wow. And I started smiling. It was as if I'd suddenly tuned into a frequency or a timeline where everything is going to be all right. Now, I don't know what that means in the sense of, is that personal or is it collective or is it a bit of both? But what it was and what it did was help me to say, oh, wow, it's all okay. Everything is going to be all right. And I think actually it will. I really do believe that, because if there's enough of us that can actually hold that frequency of trusting and having faith that everything the planet is going through and all of us that are being carried along on this energy, this wave of energy from Pisces, pushing us forward into Aries to that 0 point where current ephemerises, computerized ephemerises can't identify a time when Saturn and Neptune met at 0 degree of Aries. They've been conjunct in Aries, and interestingly, it was in the 1500s. And I was thinking, for the UK, which at that point wasn't the UK, it was England, Wales and Scotland and Ireland, but England broke away from the Church of Rome with the king's great matter when he wished to divorce his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, and marry the lady that he'd fallen madly in love with, Anne Boleyn. And he did indeed marry her and make her his queen. And I wonder where Uranus was, because he cut off her head because he believed the lies that were told about her. But it's just interesting, isn't it, that this energy is around. So surely we need to hold the line, energetically speaking. Yes. Sunshine. Hi, Penny. For those with Gemini sun or rising, should we be looking forward to Uranus in Gemini? Oh, yes. I loved having Uranus in Taurus. I went, bring it on. I embraced it. I said, bring in the change. I'm just seeing, Poonam, your inner realizations have been significant lately. This all makes sense. You keep shifting how you perceive. Spot on. Now, I trust the process. Absolutely, Anne Burke. See me, big personal discoveries is what has been happening for you. Almost like discovering things about yourself you were not aware of. Yes, that was exactly it. And I know this sounds very strange, but the other thought that came to me when I had this revelation of, my God, everything's all right. Everything is actually all right, was I suddenly knew how to say no. And within that, I also realized how to say yes. Now, there is a complexity to the nuance of what's behind that, but it's actually a really significant shift in a person when you finally learn or trust that everything will be okay if I say no. And subsequently, if I say yes. Trust the process, yes. And so then if we just move on through Pisces, because I will do something, I might do a live actually on the Saturn Neptune, just a separate one, but just to also remind you, because I have told you before, but this coming Wednesday, the 4th, when Uranus goes direct, I've got the lovely Penny Thornton meeting me on my channel, and we're going to discuss the energy of the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And that will probably be uploaded. I'll upload it probably on Thursday, I would think. It might go up on Wednesday. It depends how long it takes me to download it and things like that. But that is going to be a really, really powerful discussion that the two pennies have. So penny and penny, tuppence. So yeah, trust the process. Yes, there's so much power in no enlightened aura. Yes. And you just learned to use it and trust in your no. Absolutely. And see me, that was a big thing for you as well. Such a small word that holds a lot of power. Now, remember, we've had all this energy in Aquarius, which we're sitting in that energy now with the full moon. Okay. And hello, George. Hello, George. Mercury goes into Pisces. Mercury, our planet of communication, goes into Pisces on the 6th of February. And so we just need to be aware that it's moving towards its shadow degree because it goes retrograde at the end of February. And then on the 10th, Venus will move into Pisces. So we're starting to now get a build-up of energy after the first week of February in Pisces. So we're back in the depths, in the water, in the emotion, in the just feeling of it all. By the 12th, Mercury is conjunct the North Node in Pisces. And I will deal with these in my midweek Astro Witters. The 14th, which is Valentine's Day, Saturn leaves Pisces and enters Aries. That is big. That is important. I know we had both Neptune and Saturn in Aries last year for a little while, so we got a sense of what that might feel like. But once Saturn moves in on the 14th, really from the 14th, they will be conjunct. I mean, they're conjunct now, but they will be at the 0 degree. They'll be at 0 degrees on 0 degrees, which is known as the world point. It is the beginning of the zodiac. How can I express it? It has much more symbolism and potency. It has an energy because it is about a very big new start. But we're going to notice this. It's probably going to be in 2027 when I'm doing the month ahead of February. I'll say to you all, do you remember a year ago? And I said, 2026 is really where things start to break down. We'll go, oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, that changed, didn't it? And that changed. And now we're seeing a new world order or a new system. And I do think that is probably where we will be. Let me see. I'm missing all your wonderful talks. Blue Fox Splits. Maybe we will just all walk away from believing the structures and trusting our own wisdom. In Australia, the women become the elders and guide from matriarchy, no patriarchy. Ideally, we need some Libran balance. We need the harmony and a good balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. That is really, because if we swing too far towards matriarchy, we're just going to repeat the same thing. And in another 2,000 years, the patriarchy will come back. So I think we're being given an opportunity to try it differently. If we move into the age of Aquarius, which is really where we're hovering, then the age of Aquarius is about community. It's about us all sharing leadership, finding the leader within, finding that part of us doesn't have to be one of the herd, but at the same time, we're aware of our interconnectedness. If we can be aware of that interconnectedness, then we all have something very valuable to offer our community and our planet. Janice, hi Janice, good to see you here. Okay, let me just try and keep up with Laura's got the transits oppose your Leo. It makes this cat a bit, oh, you'll be fine. It's only a couple of weeks or so. Then it all moves into Aries. Well, in another month. Balance and true equality. Yes, Jim. Stormy, is there any relation between the 0 degree point and the axis mundi symbolism? I don't know, but that's a very interesting thought. Maybe you can have a look, Google it, or ask ChatGPT while we're sitting here and let me know. The foundation for a balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine is beginning. I think so. I think so, Brenda. I really do. So After Saturn enters Aries, then on the 17th, this is where it starts to get so super interesting, we have the new moon in Aquarius. And the new moon is actually at 12 o'clock universal time, at 28 degrees and 49 minutes. And then a few minutes later, of course, at 12:13, we get the solar eclipse, the ring of fire, at 28 degrees and 56 minutes. Now, it's called a ring of fire because the moon is actually much further away from our planet at that time. So when it goes in front of the sun, you see this ring of fire round the outside of the moon. Now, sadly, it's not visible hardly anywhere unless you're in the Antarctic or Tasmania, southern tips of southern Australia, and maybe southernmost points of New Zealand. You may get to see a partial new moon solar eclipse. So what can I say? It's a new moon. It's Aquarius. I do think this is power to the people. Let's just leave it at that for now. Then let's move on to the 18th of February when Venus will be conjunct the North Node in Pisces. So you see, we're really getting this build-up of Pisces energy. See me, yes. Pernilla. Hey, lovely woman yourself. Mwah! You're amazing. See me. Just wondering if you would let Brandon know we are sending love and healing. Yes, of course I will. Of course I will. We're actually going to do a video together. It's not for another couple of weeks, and it will just be on his channel. I don't know whether we're streaming it live or whether he's pre-recording it and it will go out. But we're going to do a video together, really about February, because, you know, February comes but once a year, and one like this about every 4,000 years. So then the sun will enter Pisces on February the 18th. The 20th, we have the conjunction. It's universal time. It's at 16:52. Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees and 45 minutes on that world Aries point. All I can say is it's the beginning. It is a beginning. It is a powerful beginning. And maybe what one has to do is in some way honor that energy on that day, even if it's just sitting quietly and welcoming in the new. Nearer the time, I don't know what day actually the 20th is. So I'm just thinking maybe I could do a live. That would be good, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. What date is it? It's actually a Friday. So I could do a live at this time on that Friday, the 20th. So let's see. Let me know what you think. Annabelle, hello, darling. You were watching Alison. Yeah, Alison Chester-Lambert. She's got a lot of astrological insight. She has, and easy to follow what she's describing. She was my teacher. She was my main teacher that I've had for the last 10 years. And now I'm being coached by the lovely Steve Judd. So a different perspective, a male perspective, to get the balance. So the 20th, yeah, I think it would be really rather good to do a live. I like that. Hello, Blue Heart. Do you love me? I love you too. Oh, yeah. All right then, Shirley. Well, I'll do a live on the 20th. Yeah, Alison was my teacher. Yeah, she's lovely. She's a lovely lady. Now on the 26th. So, I want to hang on. I'm going to go back to. We've done the full moon, we've done Uranus, we've done Saturn. Okay. new moon solar eclipse. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. Just talk amongst yourselves whilst I do this. Saturn Neptune conjunction. And okay, there's something I wrote down here, which is about the Saturn Neptune conjunction, which is the old justifications for action no longer hold true. So just ethical, conscious action can survive. And Saturn, I think, says in Aries, not all action is brave. Some action is avoidance. And that's where we have to be able to separate out what's true and what's not true. So Mercury is in its shadow for retrograde from about the 11th of February. And it goes retrograde on the 26th of February. So there we are, having all this energy, eclipses, Saturn Neptune conjunctions, 0 point Aries, all of this wonderful stuff going on. And what happens? Oh, I think we'll have a Mercury retrograde. Not only that, let's have it in Pisces. That'll get us all lost at sea and wondering what on earth is going on. So, Annabelle, you're saying, all right, see me, I will do a live. I will do a live on that 20th, definitely. Annabelle, you've had a headache all weekend. The big planets moving into Aries, ruling the head. Good point. I like that. And also, I think I saw on Facebook a little bit earlier one of the feeds that talks about the solar weather, that we've had some X-class flares coming out of the sun, which are hitting the planet and do cause us a sense of being a bit hyped up, anxious, and just wanting to, finding it very hard, sort of thinking, I don't even know what I'm anxious about, but I'm anxious. And I think that is quite a relevant point at the moment, because there is a sense that what's going on at the moment can incite a lot of anxiety in people, in all of us, including myself. I've noticed it in myself. And the way I manage to come back to being more balanced is to remind myself to be in the moment, to be in the present. Because right now, this moment, everything is all right. So I think it's important. Blue Heart, since Pluto touched Aquarius, you've lost your home, found out your ex cheating on you. When will this suffering end for a Scorpio? It'll depend. I don't know what your rising sign is, my love, but there could be something going on with your 7th house and 4th house cusp. Annabelle, that explains it. You've had a banging head, sinuses. Yes, I've got that. Throbbing, aches for no reason. That could explain it. Yeah. Tucked up in bed with your your pug called Sass. That's lovely. And after this live, I will be tucked up in bed with George and Iggy and DB and who have I forgotten? Spoticus and Felixina. But they want to be fed first. No, right. Now, February, Mercury. Mercury goes direct on the 20th of March, but it will stay in shadow till the 9th of April. So what this means is, whatever it is that unfolds in these first 3 weeks of February, we will actually be given some respite from the whatever is unfolding. With Mercury going retrograde in Pisces, it will give us time to reflect, not just on what might be happening out there that we're observing, but also what might be going on in here and how that is affecting us and how we can, integrate it and process it. So, and what's that? Enlightened aura, Annabelle Sapphire. Yeah, headache. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, someone tell that person to go away, block him or delete him. The one that is saying some very stupid things. We don't need that kind of negativity here. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. There's the door. So let's move on, because on the 28th of February, Venus is conjunct Mercury. And after that, we get to the end of February. And we will be, thank you, guys. Well done, well done. I do love my soul fam. Yeah, guys, if you do see people coming on and just being complete twats, I was trying to think of a word I can say on YouTube that would not have me blocked. If you see anyone coming on and being a complete twat, block them, because we just do not need that here. It's horrible. Yes, Annabelle, you're absolutely right. Talking to Blue Heart, you've clearly had a very, very difficult time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely be nice, be interesting, or leave. It's no, absolutely, see me. And Cosmic 3IA, yes, send them away with love. Absolutely. Now it's time for our story. And then we will, of course, get our cards for the month. They're going to be interesting, aren't they? But I thought it would be nice to just give you the story of the goddess Brigde, because there is something, I think, very interesting that Imbolc is falling on the same day as the Leo full moon. And it's about fire. And it's like saying, what's the fire in your heart that refuses to go out? And I think sometimes we forget that we have to keep that fire burning within us. And it's almost like a fire of inner purification, because fire is cleansing. So, it's so let me read bits of this story, because it's quite long. No, it's not too bad. Yeah, okay. So what happened was, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Long before February had a name, there was a night when winter paused, not finished, but a loosening. The land was still cold, yet beneath the frozen ground, life was quietly stirring. This night was Imbolc, a threshold moment when the light had not yet returned, but its promise could be felt. The ewes began to give milk. The first lambs were born, fragile, alive, and people lit candles, not because the dark was gone, but because they trusted and had faith that it would be. So Imbolc belonged to Brigde, and it was also it's also linked in with the Christian calendar of Candlemas, which is between it's like the 31st of January, the 1st of February, and the 2nd of February. And it's a little bit like with Halloween, where you have this sense of the veils being very thin and the timelines can merge and overlap with higher frequencies and the dimensions of spirit and the dimensions of blue light beings, of non-physical intelligent entities. So Brigday was the pagan goddess of hearth, fire, forge, healing and poetry. She became St. Bridget in the Catholic faith because the Irish, where this story originates, did not want to give up their goddess, Brigday, when the Catholic Church came to Ireland. And so the priests had to be a little bit cunning. And they thought, well, Brigday, Bridget, St. Bridget, let's, create a story around her. St. Bridget, we'll call her St. Bridget. So anyway, I guess this is called a spin on the news of the time. A spin doctor, a spin priest. So she was the goddess of fire and forge, of healing and poetry, of midwives, smiths and storytellers. Brigday was not the blaze, she was the spark, the flame in the hearth that said, hold on. The quiet inspiration that arrives before anything is finished, before anything is certain. People believed she walked the land on this night, blessing wells, homes, and hearts, not with guarantees, but with possibilities. And they used to leave a piece of cloth outside on a bramble bush or tied round a gatepost that Brigday would touch as she went through the land that night. And what this did was imbue that cloth with a healing energy. And so for the rest of the year, the village people and the townsfolk would bring in their piece of cloth from outside. And if you had a headache or a bad arm or a bad shoulder or whatever, they would put the cloth on there and go, this will make it better. This will make it better. And there's something about the incredible faith that comes with that. And you see, if we think of Imbolc rising under the light of the full moon in Leo, which is the sign of the heart, of courage, that inner fire, the desire to live with honesty. And Leo reminds us that true fire is not about performance. It's about warmth. And while Brigday lights a small flame, the Leo moon asks, what is the fire in your heart that refuses to go out, even if no one applauds it? And I suppose the thing is, it matters more now than ever because this is the Imbolc festival that is happening on the dawning of a new age. Saturn and Neptune will herald the beginning. I don't know what it's the beginning of, but it's a beginning. And so I'm just seeing what you've been saying. Okay, I think you're having a private chat or a public chat and see me. Okay, great story, Penny, because I pulled the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Star. I feel a world leader is going to quickly reveal and squash some kind of situation, and it would be a good thing. I think that's a very good interpretation of the Leo full moon, actually. And that could actually also link in with the cards that you've pulled. And yeah, I think that is quite a good probability. And let me see, Mother of Samson. You just Googled it. Hello, Mother of Samson. Lovely to see you here. And thank you, Shirley. It's a lovely story, isn't it? So this is quite interesting because Saturn is saying be responsible. Neptune is saying be honest. And so Imbolc is actually a moment of learning. It's not about action, but about commitment. It's not about loud declarations, but keeping the flame alight. If you do nothing else today, light a candle to just honor the goddess Brigde. If you have a hearth or you have somewhere outdoors that you can burn a fire, make a fire, and just enjoy that energy. That really, there's something about the ritual of honoring these energies. Mary Thornbury, maybe stars associated with Aquarius. Yes, good point. Yes. Sunshine, laying out a white cloth. Yes. That's right, Anne. It is a national holiday in Ireland tomorrow. To St. Bridget. Exactly. It's wonderful. So, I think it's about remembering that it's like when we're in the dark and we cannot see the light and we cannot see that pinprick of light in the distance. All we can have then is faith, because our faith is that part of us that trusts that we will move through this period. And I'm taking this as a metaphor as well, along with the astrological energies and the impact of the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, that at this point we need to protect what is real, nurture what might still be quite small, and honor that quiet fire within that knows its own timing. So I am going to pull some cards. Let me see what you're saying. Right. Oh, you'll go outside to honor her and roast marshmallows. I think that's perfect. I don't think there's any rules. It's about, we make our own rules up. I think, as long as they are honorable and are for the greater good. That's the problem. Mary Thornbury, become the magician in the dark, create the light. Exactly. When nothing else works, trust is all that is left for us to do, says Imaguari. Yes, exactly. Janice, Bridget and the cloth. One story is a bishop said you can have as much land for your convention as you can unfold in a piece of cloth. Now think of Bridget's cross. Her nuns unfolded a cloth that went to the four corners. I love it. Cosmic 3IA, you burn a candle every day with intentions. It's a lovely ritual to have. I think that's wonderful, Janice. I think that's wonderful. Right, let me concentrate. Cards for February. Oh, okay, that one and that one. And you're very welcome, Jim. Oh, and it's that one. I get so worried. I think, oh gosh, they're all going to be horrible. Who's that being negative? Me. Oh, wow. Ace of Swords. Well, I remember one of the very first books I had about the tarot, and the interpretation of the Ace of Swords was a sense of inevitability. Something has started that can't be stopped. And so, in a sense, that it feels a little bit like that, doesn't it? As if we're on a track and we've just got to go the whole way now. And I think, on one level, we're seeing that in Iran. I think probably the collective there have reached a point of no return, in the sense that we've got nothing else to lose, because if we lose our life, we've probably got more than what we have alive. I think that the change will come there. Whether it's as quick as we would like it, I really don't know. And Blue Heart, you have faith that whatever was taken from me unjustly will come back from the universe, but even greater in quality. Absolutely. Yes, Shirley Mills, Archangel Michael's sword of truth. That's right. They also call this the sword of Damocles. So this was the sword that pierced the side of the Christ. So this is about change. So February is a month of change. And it's going to be a month of plenty of news. I always think the Eight of Wands is about movement. So where things may have seemed a bit slow, a bit sluggish, like when does this, was it Simi or I can't remember who someone said about the show hasn't even started yet. Maybe it was Poonam. The show hasn't even started yet. Yet Jin, yes. Yeah, Keurik, yes. Blue Heart, you're right. We've all been there, Blue Heart. Don't forget that. Nobody gets through life unscathed. This is positive. This is an 8, so it's a symbol of eternity. So we could say maybe next Sunday, the 8th, is a significant point. I will, of course, be here doing this live. And I think also we're going to get a lot of information is coming out this week. I think there's just going to be so much. We won't be able to keep up with it. It's just going to be absolutely busy. So and let's see what my Simi, you just wanted to say that you love and appreciate the Soul Fam. This is such a loving and safe place to express our light. Oh, Simi, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. Bless you. Oh, we have a Knight of Cups. We have a very nice sense of, I wonder if this is somebody in a position of authority who comes in with more harmony, love, and balance to somehow bring the warring factions together. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that, but I think there is some proposition, possibility, just feels quite positive, because, if we look at, and that one goes in the middle, the cards that we picked, the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. I like those. Cosmic 3IA, you pulled the Life Tree card, universal, circulating in our life, expressing the divine light within. How wonderful, because there we are with Imbolc, celebrating the divine light within. I wish I should have brought a candle while I was sitting here. Never mind, I haven't got one easily to hand. And if I had, I'd have to rub 2 sticks together to light it. So there we go. And we've squeezed it all in to the hour, which is incredible. I do think the boundaries are important. Sometimes, yes, we might go over by 1 or 2 minutes, but I actually think it's good for all of us to know, because I think when boundaries are all over the place, it makes us feel a bit unsafe. And it's having that containment, that we start at the time we start and we finish at the time we finish. And let me see, we've got the Eight of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the Star. Interesting. So you also had the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Cups with hope. Elaine, Thank you, Penny, for all the positive and uplifting thoughts for everyone today. We love you. I love you too. And look forward to seeing these lives every week. God bless you. Thank you. Blue Heart, sending my energy to you as you read the cards. Scorpio vibes with you. Thank you. Brenda, boundaries have been a life lesson for me. And for me, I can tell you. I make you feel safe, Shirley. Thank you. That is really good to know. Laura, thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you all for being here. And Pernilla, thank you. What a pretty name, my love. Thanks for being here. Thank you all for being here. I will be back next Sunday. So remember, I will do my midweek Witter Astro forecast. And I will be uploading at some point this week after Wednesday the discussion that Penny Thornton and myself have about Saturn and Neptune. That is not to be missed. So please join us for that. And lovely to see you here, Jim. As always, you are my very special friend. So you're all my very special friends. I don't have favorites. I'm not going to say I've got favorites. I love you. I do love you all. You all give so much, and that's wonderful. Yeah, Shirley Mills, love and light to all. Blessed February, everybody. Blessed be and blessings to you. I'm going because do you see what happens? I get I can't stop, can I? I just witter. I just go, oh yeah, and bye, 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 because I just can't stop. Anyway, I'm going to stop. Oh, dearie me, what are we going to do with me? Right, I'm going. Okay, my loves, I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Bye.